Hi, Jeromy Young, CEO of Atomos, and we have some pretty amazing news for you guys. The Sumo guys that have been waiting for quite a while for their asynchronous switching. You've been able to switch for about 9 months now, but you haven't been able to put different sources in without genlocking them first. So we've now completed that development, and we've got 4 ISO feeds, a program feed to record, and then at the same time we can insert dissolves that you preset or crossfades or hard cuts, and you can choose that, and that goes into a Final Cut XML, and then you bring the 4 in to Final Cut with all the audio tracks, and the audio is all recorded from all the sources, and you can start editing immediately. And hopefully you've done a pretty good job on the switching live, and you can print and go on the program feed. That program feed is sitting on here. You can view those. You can also go into each of the ISOs and just say, well, actually I've got what I need in case it didn't go that well. It's very intuitive and quite a cool solution for a one switching with 4 cameras. And now you can do a really professional kind of studio shoot, but on your Sumo. So why don't I take you through exactly what we're looking at here. So the first thing is you've got a couple of different modes. The first mode is the switched monitor mode. So this shows you all the switch feeds. They're all coming in. It tells you exactly what frame rate you're on and what resolution. It's 1080. You can go up to 60p on each of them. We're doing 1080p 25 here. All your cameras need to be in the same mode, but they don't need to be gen-locked. So we actually align all of the feeds coming into one synchronization, which makes sure that the multicam is all synced before you get to the finish. So this is your I'm on the green one here. You can see my normal Atomos, very distinctive record, play, and the monitor's grayed out because I'm in the 4 monitor area. So if I click on this one, just to the right there, I'm going into that exact feed. Now I'm on feed number 3, that was matching where I was over here. And if I want to flick between each of the feeds, just make sure I'm zoomed in, I can do things like waveform on each one of these, and that will stay for each one of the feeds. So as I flick to the next one, the waveform's still there. As I pop down, so you got to think of this as a mode that stays for each of the monitors. And then if I go back to number 4, yeah, I'm pretty happy with all of those setups. So let's go back to the switch view. I'm ready to go. I'm going to tell my, and if you look at behind me, we've got these guys actually set up live with all of these inputs coming in. Give us a laugh back there. Yes, that is live. And they're all synchronized. So I'm actually going to start on the couple here that looks like they're going to a movie, and they're going to have a bit of a chat about which movie they're going to see. Bit of a drink going on there as well. So we want to make sure we capture both sides, the emotion. We want to make sure that we've got the product shot there when we're doing this professional production. So how do I then make sure that I've got my switched feed? So here's my program feed. I'm turning off the program feed here, which means I just do the ISO records. How do I choose my ISO records? Well, I come and you can see 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 on or off. Very simple. So of course I want to record my 4 feeds. I also want to record my program feed. So that means now I've got 5 feeds. And that will go into a folder, and we'll show you how that then gets played back. So this is my monitor section. So let's go in and just take a quick look at what happens when you record. So I hit record, and you can see that I'm in the monitor area there, and it's ticking away. Now, which one do I want next? Well, I'm in hard cut mode, so I'm watching what's happening. They're having a good conversation, and the guy here is saying something really cool. So I'm going to switch to him. You can see I've got the shot quite well. The tulips are nicely lined up there in the background. You can see my Shogun's giving the program feed out to a separate monitor at the same time. I can switch between that one, I think. And then, you know, I'm pretty confident they're going to go for a bit of a cheers now. So as they go for the cheers, I'm going to switch to the next shot. Perfect, well done. So I've just recorded that. So what do I do now if I want to check what happened? So now I'm going to hit play. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like when you come in. So I've got my folder here, which is my first take. And of course you can name these differently. I've just left it as the standard. And they're all, and you can see I've got program feed there. So I'm going to go in and check my program feed. So I'm swinging along there beautifully. And then I'm waiting to see whether my hard cut really came through at the right time, having a chat. Then I went, pretty soon I go to the guy, and yep, that's all working well. If I want to check I can zoom and fast forward in here, and all my normal controls are there. Flick to the girl, and then there's a nice cheers. So what if I wanted to pause that and then maybe zoom in on it? So if I go to a 2:1, just want to check that I've got the eyes right there. Yep, not looking bad. If I come out of the 2:1, I want to check that my focus was on. Yep, I'm pinpoint. So I can check all of those things just like I would on my Ninja or Shogun for all those users that are out there. But now I've got this nice large monitor to work with. So let's go back and I'll show you a few things about changing the operation while you're in the recording switching mode. So there's a couple of things that you probably should really remember. You can take the overlays off down here, just like you can normally, because you can't just touch the screen because they're all different kind of settings. So we've moved that down here. So that's down in the right-hand corner. Now, if I want to change some settings here, like I've got one tap quick cut, that's what I just did. If I then go back in and a 2-tap cut or a dissolve. So I've now got the choice to do a hard cut on double tap, or I can transition with a dissolve. Now that dissolve will be integrated into an XML in the actual recording. It won't show up on the unit. We're not doing cross dissolves. That would mean we'd need 8 channels to be able to cross dissolve those on each of the records. So 5 is the maximum that we can do. So, but that will go into the XML for you to be immediately using after, and you can set exactly how long those dissolves are going to be. So I'm going to do a manual dissolve, but there is an auto dissolve option where I can say, look, I want 1 second dissolves, or I can do it in number of frames. I'm not going to do that. I like the manual, and I'll show you, we've put a little slider there to have you move across between it. You can also go into the audio pages and just check that your audio is working. I do want to record that audio. I do have 2 audio feeds here, so I will record that, so it's always good to see what that is. And let me come back out. So I'm ready to go. I've got my dissolves going, so I'm going to do that scene again. I'll let my actors know, hey, we're going to get going again, first one. So you guys are going to have a chat first. I'm going to start on you. The movie's about to go, 3, 2, 1, and we hit record. Well done. They're having a chat, looking pretty good. And look, it's getting pretty serious over at the boy there. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna cue him. I'm gonna cue him there. I'm gonna wait till that moment when his eyebrows go deep into his face, and then we're gonna transition across, boom. And at the end of that transition, that's the speed of transition that you will get inside Final Cut. So they're having good. Now the reaction looks pretty good from the girl, not bad. So we're gonna go straight across to that and make sure we get the smile as they're chatting there. And then while they put their glasses back down, because we do want a nice cheers from that last shot. So hang on a second, go back down there, we'll switch into there, and then I'll dissolve those and we'll get the cheers coming. Well done. All right, so that's our multicam switching using dissolve. So you get to be able to cue it and see what's going on. I'll hit stop there. And now I've done 2 records very easily, very simply. They're all on the disc. My ISOs are in there. I'm gonna come down and let's just have a look at the cheersing one, which I know is feed number 2. So I'll go to my second recording, feed number 2. That's all the glasses there. That's when they started. My recording's all there. And when I go to the end, did we get in the shot? Yeah, we did. That was perfect. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna take that. So now I know I've got a couple of cheers in there. I've got a couple of different takes in there. All my audio will be synced at the same time and I'm recording the 2 channels of the main analog mics, and then so you can switch between those in a separate unit, or I've got all the digital feeds for the individuals that I can cut in there. So you've got all the choices required for the actual program. And then of course I've got the other option of coming in and doing, let's say, my favorite cheers cut in and out. And that's an extra favorite that I can use in my production later on. So that is the Sumo 19 switching. I know people have been waiting for it for a long time. We're very proud of it. We think this will change production in a big way, especially for those more affordable productions where you're putting maybe a corporate situation together, or I'm a church or an event where I've got multi-cameras around the establishment. Doesn't really matter what type of production, up to 4 cameras, 1 program feed recording, and then you've got the choice into Final Cut XML to make that a really quick finish. And you can also put all your titles, into Final Cut pre-canned so that they all go in very nicely. So Sumo 19, shipping now, new firmware. Enjoy and happy switching.